good guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el Putin entero. Funny, paso verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SC Project branding logo that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand now, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el Putin entero. Funny, paso verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SC Project branding logo that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand now, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el Putin entero. Funny, paso verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SC Project branding logo that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand now, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el Putin entero. Funny, paso verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SC Project branding logo that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en
What's
algún
good, everybody?
lugar.
Letting it run one more time, then we'll get to it.
Let's take a
Not
quick
too
look.
crazy tonight.
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el Putin entero. Funny, paso verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
I always let it rock, so it's all good.
Money work. Si me quiero educar.
What's good, everybody? Mike's in the building. Welcome to another Freestyle Sunday. Very excited to be on tonight. Of course, got all my arms, my fingers, my hands, my feet. Yeah. As the title states, I crashed again, actually more than twice. So we're going to cover some of that tonight and talk about the bike status and me status kind of thing. But we're going to do what we do best and enjoy the night with everybody while you guys are here. Always a pleasure while tuning in on Sunday, having you guys take your hour to an hour and a half and hang out with me and chat. Tonight's going to be more of a a little bit more of a Q&A and kind of really talking about some of the wheelie stuff and how that's been going and the the pros, the cons, some of the hurdles, and some of the mistakes that I've made and stuff like that. And hopefully, if you guys have any questions, you want to throw that in, or whether you have other questions regarding the channel. By the way, we have hit 24,000, currently down 900 subs to making 25,000. So very excited for that. Hopefully, you guys could help me carry the channel to that. Currently, right now, we have 12 people tuned in. That's always a nice start to the night. But we only have 5 thumbs ups. Please, guys, make it so. Make it even. Why not? Doesn't cost you anything. Just for part of the conversation to help the channel. So, very, very excited to kind of talk about that and show you guys this crash as well. But we're gonna do what we're gonna do best, guys. We're gonna do a big shout out to MotivationUSA.com, where we shop for all the goodies, parts, and accessories, sliders. How do you call it? Even rear sets. Actually, I have those on my Street Fighter V4S. They are ridiculously dope. Super easy for you to kind of adjust them on the go. Just a single hex bolt here, guys, and these things are rotating. They are amazing. These are billet aluminum. That is super easy for you to kind of adjust just from this little area here. This is a brush metal that's on there on the heel guard. Basically, if you're looking for that OEM look, by the way, that company, Gillis Tooling, makes OEM parts for BMW S1000RR, M1000RR. So it's really cool to see Germans building OEM style parts that is aftermarket for other motorcycles. I have those on my Street Fighter, and they are absolutely amazing. And like I always said, guys, if you want to support what I do here on the channel, you want to show love and support, I don't sell anything. These are the adjustments. But you can always hit the link in the description if you're shopping for your own bikes. That always helps the channel. All right. Going to give another shout out to Hard Knocks Coffee, guys. They provide coffee for MotoGP. It's owned by a rider himself. So, again, all of the links will be in the description. Always appreciated, whether you're buying coffee, candle, or stickers. These guys are the place for you to shop them, right? It helps the channel also, to be honest. I'm not going to just, be saying this as if it's like the only purpose. Let's pull up the chat here. Say what's up to everybody. I'm probably going to have that pulled up all night since we're basically going to be monitoring the chat via Q&A and stuff like that. So feel free to chime in. They're going to be rolling all through the night. Well, I can say all through the night. I'm saying for now. So there we go. And of course, Sasong here. Good evening, peeps. It's already October. I know, man. Don't remind me. You know what's crazy? It feels like New York got cold instantly the day after summer. You can see right now I'm wearing like a shirt hoodie with my shirt below it. It's a little chilly already out here in New York, man. It's pretty crazy. And I think to some degree, that's one of the reasons why I had my crash, which we'll kind of talk about in a little bit. Covert Mecca, really, really chill guy, very smart guy. He was actually on the stream last week. If you missed that stream, definitely give it a listen or a watch. A lot of really cool gems, a lot of things that we can all walk away from if you're a potential content creator, or if you're a potential content creator on YouTube or other social media platform. That was a really insightful conversation, which I thought was super cool. Governor D, nice. What's goody, bike family? Nothing, man. Out here dropping motorcycles. You know how it is. Oh, man. Of course, we have wifeys in the building saying what's up to everyone. All right, let me try to read this, man. ¿Qué pasó, hermano? Hermano. There you go. Spanish is pretty good, right? Duck fam was good. Let's see what we got here. We have Gerbman 2004. What happened? Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that. I'm also gonna show you guys the clip as well. Solo riders in the building was good. Always nice to see you on, man. Two Wheel Twansy was was good, everyone. I love that emoji, by the way. That salute, really cool. But if you guys have any questions and stuff you want to throw in, this is definitely the time. Sasong Motorlum, yes. Oh my God, major flooding and damages to a ton of places around me, though. We even had gators just swimming in this. What the? Yeah. Florida is not the place for me, obviously. Definitely not the place for me. Yeah, hopefully everyone's good, man. I know it's a little crazy out there. And Elijah Clark's in the building, guys. Really, really good to see him in. Bud Tussinel, Stephen Turner. Yeah, man. Always like to see it, guys. Definitely hit that thumbs up if you're tuning in and you're watching, man. Yeah, I will be populating any questions and comment while we're going through the night, man. So it's been pretty much a wild week between work and me uploading shorts and uploading content on Motivation's channel. And you guys know there's been like a tornado warning and everything else moving out of Florida. And of course, we're getting like a little bit of backlash for it out here in New York. Being that I've been practicing wheelies every day for about an hour every day, not even about an hour, just steadily an hour every day. We're talking about either in the morning before going to the office or after work. I go out there, whether it's cold, a little chilly or dark or whatever. I have a really perfect spot for wheelie practice. And I make it a thing where I have to do it. That way I can really coincide with my goal and try to practice and achieve it in the fastest manner as possible. So being that it's going to be raining, it's raining now in New York, right? It started about 2 days ago. It's raining pretty much straight. It's pretty much the backlash of the Florida, hurricane and everything else. Prior to it raining, I thought to myself, oh my God, it's going to rain. So I'm like, let me practice. I'm just pretty much excited. I ordered a new jacket, which will cover. And it's a light jacket, very breathable. It comes with padding. It's an Icon jacket. It's actually pretty much my first Icon piece ever. Super light, lots of perforation. It has armor in the arm, in the back, in the elbow. It all comes with everything. And I'm like, oh, it's the perfect thing. I actually tried it on from one of the reps at the clutch control event. I spoke to a Icon rep there, and I'm like, oh, this is perfect. For me to practice. I want it to be movable and it's like not tight. You know, some of your other riding jackets, they're pretty much like in position. So jacket got delivered on Saturday. And before that, I'm like, let me just go out and practice, keep tradition. We even managed to move our timeline because my wife's always accommodating, whatever. I did it where we push our dinner an hour out because after an hour getting from the office and getting home, I gear up and I go to my spot and practice and push dinner out just so I can kind of get it done, and then I would edit later and stuff like that. And I thought to myself, I had super productive sessions for the past 2-3 days, and I've learned a lot of new things, and I'm like getting really confident, getting comfortable. I'm clutching up consistently. I'm not talking about like I'm clutching up and sometimes it catches, sometimes it doesn't catches. I'm talking about I'm on point. I'm just like clutching it. It always comes up and I'm watching. And the other thing that I'm doing, I'm reviewing my clips. When I first started, I reviewed the clips after my session. So it was an hour, and then I spent like an hour before bed or something like that. I would put it on our big screen in the bedroom, and I would watch it while my wife is sleeping and just kind of observe and like have little notes, because it's really like learning it, understanding it before you kind of get it. Now I stop intermittently between 25 minutes of doing it. I take a break. I review the footage right away so I can kind of make adjustments. So it's kind of you getting a better understanding. You're doing adjustments a lot quicker. And pretty much everyone that I'm partnering with for wheelies, they're all saying, hey, you're improving really quickly. It's because I'm watching it and understanding it really, really quickly. So the fact that I knew for the next 4 days I wouldn't be able to practice, I'm like, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to spend 2 hours, and I'm super confident. I usually run my drills, which is like 15 minutes of me just going from slow motion to fast motion and hitting the rear brake, sliding it, hitting the rear brake, sliding it. I just do it repetitively. And then my next set of drill is basically going from slow to really fast, but I'm in the proper seating position. So we're talking about I'm like this. All right, just cranking the throttle, and then I'm slowing down pretty quickly, just getting that inertia feeling, getting it rolling. And that night, I didn't even do any of those things at all. Like, I didn't do it. I felt the night prior, I was rocking clean wheelies, clean clutch ups. We're talking about maybe 75% of a whole block. So I'm moving quick. And I got to it. I already started clutching up perfectly fine. I'm hitting the rear brake. And long story short, for some reason I panicked when I went up, and the bike it didn't flip. I didn't loop it, but for some reason I panicked. Instead of hitting the rear brake, I removed my foot off the foot pegs, and the bike just went haywire. So I'm just gonna roll that so we can take a quick look at it here. By the way, let me say what's up here to Futuristic Viper. What's goody, sir? If you tuned in, definitely hit that thumbs up, guys. Tonight's a solo one. I think you're hanging out with Max Riss is because I'm doing wheelies. Nah, man, this has been like a goal of mine for a while, and I've pushed this goal for a long time, and I've kept on pushing it out. I had refused to start practicing doing wheelies with my favorite bikes and some of the more expensive stuff, and I thought it'd be kind of silly to do it. And now that I finally got an opportunity, I picked up a specific bike for practicing and stuff like that, and it doesn't bother me too much if I dump the bike. And I'm gonna tell you guys now, the KLX, the Kawi KLX 140, that thing is a beast. I've actually dumped it a couple of times. The bike you just lift it right back up. The bike just runs like it's nothing. You know, it's crazy. That's one of the most positive things I could say about the bike. And I think due to a little bit too much confidence and too much excitement, and the fact that I'm moving really quickly, I think that might have hurt my opportunities. Also, I thought to myself, I won't be able to practice in the next 4 days, so I'm just going to get as much in as possible and try to get as much improvement as possible. So, so I ended up going out there a little bit. So let's take a quick look here at my second crash, actually. It doesn't look as bad, and the good thing is, guys, I'm wearing like full arm pads, gear, and stuff like that. I wasn't hurt at all. It was really nothing on my body that got hurt, my hand, my foot, or anything like that. Really, just the fact that I actually got a little bit more, I would say, like, more frazzled. I'm like, damn, how did I miss the rear brake? Like, how did I not hit the rear brake on that? And it wasn't really a big wheelie yet. That was one of my medium ones. So I do like a medium, and then I start going further back, and I haven't really missed the rear brake, because if you look at it, it's not a very, very big wheelie at all. Pete just messaged me saying, ouch, man, that doesn't look good. That's one of the guys here at Motivation USA. I had sent them, how do you call it here? Let me see. I'll read this message live, by the way. Ouch, man, that doesn't look good. Might need to get that cut off or re-weld one. I think they sell support for those, so that doesn't happen. Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow. It's so dope having people from Motivation. They're telling me they could get me parts and stuff for the KLX and stuff like that. That would be kind of dope. Unlimited to see anything if you want. Okay. So I usually give them like a heads up of my progress, what's going on. I'm actually going to show you guys the damage as well on the bike. And I'm just going to run this real quick again just so we can take a quick look. Because it wasn't like, I don't think it was really bad. I don't think it was too bad, really, in my personal opinion. I think it was more so the motorcycle that hit. So right after the second crash, I just went right back to it. I was like, listen, no biggie. Bike's running, no problem. I'm just gonna get right back to it and just continue practicing. I'm not one of those people, unless I got hurt or something went bad or something like that. It's not something that's gonna bother me too much. That's gonna prevent me from actually stopping what I'm doing or pursuing it. And again, there's always one good thing that came out of all this is that I'm not using my, official motorcycles that I actually bought, my expensive bikes. This bike was purposely purchased just so I could do this kind of stuff. And I expect to kind of dump it. I expect to get it scuffed. And just so you guys are aware, there's no damage on the engine at all. Some of the plastic got scuffed a little bit. And that's pretty much it. There was a little bit of gas that came out. But that's just like standard if you dump the bike. And outside of that, it worked pretty good. Let me pull up the comment just to see if there's anything being said here about my nonsense. And then I'll play the other crash. The other crash is what really caused some issues for me. Wifey mentioned here she can't watch this. Yeah, man. Here's the other thing, guys. You do not want to play these clips to your significant other, because my wife got super emotional when I played them, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm not hurt. You know what I mean? That's just the name of the game. If you're gonna be practicing something it's not in your comfort zone, that you're not comfortable with, you got to expect some of the unexpected, and you got to take it in the chin. You know what I mean? It wasn't a big deal. And the best part is, guys, if you're gonna go on this journey just like how I am and be dedicated to becoming really good and proficient at doing wheelies, you're gonna have to expect the fact that some of this stuff might happen. There's a possibility that you could get hurt also. The best way you want to do that, you want to minimize it by like full-on boots that go all the way up, all the way up your shin, so you can't hurt your shin, you can't break your ankles. So you just minimize those things. Out of the crashes that I've experienced, nothing has happened to me. I'm usually wearing pads underneath on my chest, on my back. I did not have elbow pads on, but it was fine. It was a thicker jacket, but then my new jacket that I just bought pretty much has padding all over. I even have little hip ones on my pants and stuff. So we're talking about minimizing the risk as much as possible. You could learn this. You could become proficient. You could get rid of the fear. And I think one of the biggest steps for you to getting rid of the fear when you're wheeling is to remove the aspect of your actual bike. Because I think what happened to all of us, right, when we're talking about learning how to wheelie, if you have a specific bike, an R1, a Gixxer, or a Ducati, whatever it is, and that's your main bike that you love, you've poured everything into it, and you're ready to go, right? There's a fear factor of doing the wheelie, okay? There's a fear factor of looping it, and that's there for everyone. And the funny thing is, I'm expecting to loop the bike because as you get more comfortable, you're going further back. But instead of me looping it, for some reason, I always seem to just, because my whole concept is, if it goes out of control, just let the bike go. I'm in a place where it can't hit anything, can't hit anyone's vehicle or home. I'll just let it fly off. Fuck it, right? That's the overall idea, and I'll be fine. So that's why I'm not looping. I'm more like letting it go, and then I'll probably end up falling. And again, knee pads, because you pretty much, your hand goes down first, your knees, and then your feet. You could roll or whatever. You can minimize that. That could be just fine. Futuristic Viper mentioned here that looked rough. Yeah, man. That one was a little tough, but it's all good, man. I think it looks rougher than it actually is, because when you have your gear on, visually it looks crazy, but I was able to get up like within seconds and like go back and grab the bike. But Tussino mentioned here, I wouldn't count that as a crash. You're practicing, it happens. On a public road, I'd say you crash. No, man, I don't do anything on a public road. I respect, people's property. I respect the road, and I respect the fact that I'm learning. This is a learning experience. It's a journey. I would never do this while I'm on the road until I become fully proficient and really understand that I could do this 1,000 times over and over and over and over without having any hiccups. I would never attempt it on a public road. So I have a very good understanding here. Two Will Twins, you mentioned, hey, I got to learn how to do wheelies. Yeah, man. You know what? I love pulling wheelies. I love seeing people do them. I think they're very empowering, at least to me. And to be honest, the journey has been way better than just wheelies. I'm finding that I'm just doing little drills with this bike now. All of a sudden, when I go to the lot and I'm just like riding, I'm just doing like really, really slow maneuvers, counterbalance stuff, sliding the back out a lot more. I'm doing like spinning donuts now. Any of these things I wouldn't do with my actual bike. So a lot of these little things that, you know, becomes really fun, not just because I'm just doing them. It's just the freedom knowing that I'm not wrecking my Street Fighter like a $35,000 motorcycle. It's very different, and it's crazy. A lot of good times. So I'm gonna roll the other crash here, guys. I think this one was a little bit rougher. Right after this one, you know what, let's roll it. I'm not gonna say anything because we're gonna be talking through this as I'm playing them. And again, would I recommend anybody go out and try this and get used to it? If it's in your budget, you have some money laying around that doesn't impact your personal life or your family, why not, man? This is really cool. I think it's something that I'm learning so much on, and I'm going to talk about pros and cons to having a separate bike for that, and pros and cons to the actual bike. I'm documenting everything. I'm vlogging everything. So I don't want to release videos intermittently in between. I'm talking about like, oh, here's a vlog, here's the bike release. I want to have the entire series done and then release them. It could be like twice a week or something like that, but I want to have all of it done. At that point, when you do see me wheelie, it's going to be like, I'm already done with learning. I was telling my wife this over dinner. I was like, now that I feel like I'm having a better understanding with the whole wheelie process, now it's a matter of practice. I think I just broke the barrier of learning to practicing. And I was explaining this to her. She was like, what do you mean? And I'm like, here's the thing. When you're learning it, at least for me, learning wheelies, it's understanding the dynamics, right? Understanding how it works, what makes it happen. Balance point. As I was saying, I was speaking with David Piccione. He's been on the stream. He actually is in one of my videos, did a really dope wheelie also. There's the difference between practicing wheelies and understanding them is a completely different thing. The dynamics of it, body position, making the rear brake your best friend forever. Again, the minute I hit the lot, I don't use my front brake at all. Actually, one of my rules on the dirt bike is to don't even touch the front brake at all, as if it doesn't exist. I'm only using the rear brake for everything. So I'm even getting really proficient in slowing down before cornering and stuff. So I'm spacing myself out before hitting the apex, right? So I'm just downshifting or rear brake and then leaning into the corners and stuff. So there's a lot of little drills that are really fun with these little bikes and stuff, and I'm using that for a big opportunity. So understanding a wheelie, like I said, is body position, rear brake. Most importantly is balance point. Some people call it balance point, 12 o'clock. And 12 o'clock is the wrong terminology, and you will soon understand this. I immediately understood what happened. 12 o'clock is not balance point, guys. I know you hear it on TikToks and Instagram and YouTube. They have the clips of the hood guys. Oh, 12 o'clock boys. It's really lingo, really just something that's very exciting to write so people can click. Balance point is either one of those. I do this little exercise when I'm at home not on the dining table, like on our dining chair. So there's a triangle. When you're on the bike is parallel on the floor to the ground and you're on it. When you wheelie, you become like a balancing point, like a triangle on the bike, right? So let me see the best way to explain this. Give me a second. I'm going to explain a little bit better. You have a visual. But basically, balance point is not 12 o'clock. So when you're sitting back and let me unlock my chair. All right. When you're sitting back, right, you clutch up and you throttle, the bike comes up. As you can see, some of the mistakes I've made, I would go towards, or I would go towards the handlebar. Those are all no-nos. It's going to disturb the chest. It's going to really set you up for a bad day, which I've learned, right? You clutch up, it comes up. What you want to do, right? You want to come up, right? You see my arm length change. I'm still looking at the horizon, right? And everything came up, but this is not bent. So once you hear, as you go further back, between you and the bike and the back wheel, there's an area where it's like weightless, right? That weightless is balance point. Some people, when they do the extremely aggressive wheelie, 12 o'clock all the way up, and they leaning back, that is not, there's a balance point there, but that's to the body, right? It's to the body. You're modulating that rear brake way more. You're basically riding the rear brake at that point. But if you're here, you're balancing, right? Just like this, that's your body. That's the front of the bike. Let's say we do like this. It's almost like completely parallel to the rear wheel, right? You're balancing just like that. The bike is weightless. You're lightly tapping the rear brake here. So again, how do you call it? A couple of my friends were asking, hey man, how come you're moving so fast? And you're learning it so quickly. And my explanation was really understanding what is a wheelie. If you understand it, then you can do it easy. So I started understanding where I could be, where I could feel that way. That's why I could see some of my wheelies a lot further, right? So now that I got to that point, I understand it. Once you understand it, right, you basically have the understanding, right? And then you also have the structure. So you talk about sitting properly, clutching it up 100%. All of my clutch ups are 100% now, right? And now it's just practice, right? So you're basically in position. I don't know if you guys seen people wheelies. You can see their foot on the side and stuff like that. That stuff could throw your counterbalance off. So for me, as a beginner, I'm flush to the seat, and it goes straight up. If it doesn't go straight up, I bring it down. That doesn't count. Now that you have the tactic, the technical aspect of it down, now it becomes practice. And my goal was, before the New York winter comes around or it's really cold, I don't want to be learning the techniques then, because you're more likely to make a mistake. After you learn technique, now you can practice. Now I'm just practicing wheeling. It's not learning or understanding. And I think a lot of people get hurt because they skip a step of really understanding it. And if you even look at this, guys, it's the same theory, right? When you go to track, right? In order for you to become part of, class A, class B, like really fast classes, they start teaching you and understanding the motorcycle, understanding cornering in the apex, basically slowing down before, you know what I mean? You're basically slowing down your bike before then. Once you dip into the corner right at the apex, you accelerate out. Really, you're not fast in the beginning. You're basically learning how to be fast, right? Once you get all the tactic right, you could hit the apex coming down at 80 miles an hour. From there, you're just practicing to be faster. You know the tactic, which is the same premise. So that's the deal, and that's why I kind of move a lot quicker. So let me show you guys the second one, which was the second crash, and then we'll kind of talk about that. I'm just gonna run that back. I'm getting far back right there. You could see, and this is like nighttime, guys. I'm talking about like after work while my wife is doing dinner. I'm just like, fuck it, just going hard. That was my second for that day. Yeah, so right after that crash, that's why I had to call it a night. And for me, I'm always going no matter what happened. But I don't know if you guys noticed. Actually, I'm just gonna quickly go to the comment section.
So a bit of a rough night tonight. Second crash, all good. Keeping it moving.
So there you go. I always document it right after. This is me after.
So a bit of a rough night tonight. Second crash, all good. Keeping it moving.
Yeah, guys, I'm not one of those to give up, man. If it's something that I'm set on and I really want to achieve, I'm just gonna keep at it and kind of get it going. I'm already in it. You know what I mean? We're talking about getting the bike, getting the gear, and everything else. I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. I'm not one of those that's gonna walk away from something because it's difficult or because it's challenging. I'm in it. So trust me when I say this, we're seeing it on the stream here, or you're seeing it wherever this is going to progress, is going to become something that's completely proficient as part of my arsenal when I ride. So it is what it is. Again, that Kawasaki KLX, guys, that thing's a champ because it just keeps going, no problem. No engine damage neither. The handlebars are perfectly fine, but the grips were, I was going to change them already, and my wife bought me some pillow top grips, and the wear and tear, since I was riding every day for like an hour to an hour and a half, they were already worn into the actual handlebar itself. So I was in the process of swapping those. Those got pretty beat up once I crashed. Did you start up with a power wheelie and transition to clutch up wheelies, or did you shoot straight to clutch up wheelies? That's a great question. I went straight to, so I used to power wheelie my Monster. Okay, I stopped it. I stopped doing that because I knew sooner or later that was going to end really badly for me. So I don't do that. But I would say personally, I start straight up with clutch ups. The minute I got this bike and I started learning, clutch up was the thing. At first, nothing really happened. At first, you know, it started jolting. Of course, it's the fear factor. What happened is clutch up is not as scary as it appears to be for most of us. The fear factor for most people doing clutch up is the fact that is your actual bike. For example, if you took your BMW S1000R out, clutching that bike up and the nerve you're going to have, you would have to have that nerve after learning. So basically, after you're good already, you clutch up that bike because you can assure yourself that you're not going to ruin it, right? That's going to be a big hit. I'm finding clutch up is super easy. It's timing. A lot of people always tell you it's a simultaneous thing. You just pop it in and do it. It's like a one shot. It's not. Again, everything is so different. It's all relative. People tend to minimize the way they explain this. Again, guys, I've been doing like a ton of research, a lot of filming, a lot of documenting of what I'm doing, and really trying to, it's almost like doing like, learn how to wheelie for a dummy almost. And nothing like super clickbaity for YouTube or quickly, like you could do it super quick. I'm going to be doing so little step. Like first step is going to be like me learning those drills, and it's not no wheelies at all. So of course I'm going to show some wheelies to get people to click it. But the drills, do the drills first. Before you even start doing any wheelies, get to know the motorcycle, whatever bike that you end up getting, get to know it, get comfortable with it. After you're comfortable with that bike, do drills. Once you're doing drills, forget the front brake, and just do drills, going from stop to fast, and then from there, stop to fast, slowing down with just your brake, or sliding the back out with the brake, just so you can kind of have that muscle memory. And then right after that, your clutch up drill is going to be like popping it just to bring the bike up. I do it for like 15-20 minutes. Doing those drills is going to be a huge deal. And then now, like I said, I can clutch up 100 times, it will always come up. No problem. Like there is no way. And you will understand how much throttle it takes. Also on a dirt bike, you can get it really quickly. The cheat way you could do this on a super bike or a bigger bike or a bike like my Hyper Motard, which is the bike that I'm going to be like pretty much my wheelie bike. Read the manual, know the power band of your bike. So on the Hyper, it's between 5,000 to 6,500. That's the power band. Between first, second, third gear, it's always going to jump up. So if I'm going to wheelie the Hyper under the same pretense, basically same technique, sitting back, holding, handlebar, same thing, clutch it. If I know I'm at between those RPM, I clutch it, it's going to come up. So if you know those, if you know exactly where that peak is, hence why I always tell people that has Superbike or 1000, you'll see them wheeling at 80 miles an hour. It's because the power band is so far out that they're going so fast. That's why they could clutch it up or go up. So again, having a really good understanding of those things will help and help you wheelie really well. Futuristic Viper mentioned, close your eyes, Anna. Let's see here. I accidentally did a clutch up wheelie on my little Z once I plan to get this wheelie thing down. Yeah, man, I think on a small bike, it's always a great way. Again, I'm able to walk away from 3 crashes. It's because it's on a small bike, really. It's almost like falling off a chair. and you have your paddings on. So that's tough. The Hyper is a very big motorcycle. Not only that, it's bigger than your regular super bike, it's taller. It's like, I don't, if you guys ever ridden a horse, riding the Hyper is like riding a horse. So falling off that, the chances of you breaking something, and I'm not talking about the motorcycle, I'm talking about on yourself, is pretty high. So you have to know what you're doing here. Ducati bike fan mentioned here, sounds sketchy. What sounds sketchy, man? Definitely let me know. I'll explain a little bit further. Futurix Viper is replying to Sasong here. What's good? Whenever I see your name, I picture eating a perfectly seasoned burger. Sounds about right. Looks like a karate move, Mike, with your arms up. Great way to explain the balance point. Hells yeah, man, right? We're here sharing as much information as possible. Look at it this way. I'm the crash dummy for you guys that potentially might want to explore this in the future. You could skip some of my steps that I had to deal with, right? Ducati fan, Florida mentioned it, but cool when you get it down. Yeah, I mean, it's a journey, really. I'm doing it the safest way. I have a small bike. For me personally, like I told my wife, I don't want to risk the fact that, you know, I do work, I have my responsibilities and stuff like that. I don't want to get hurt where I'm like not able to work or not able to do certain things around my home. So it's important that I do the safest route as possible to kind of get this down. And it is possible. I believe my last 2 crashes didn't have to happen. I think I was a little arrogant. I think I was super confident, and I thought to myself, I won't be able to practice in the next 4 days. I just want to do as much as possible today. That's what got me, to be honest. And there's a price to pay. We're going to talk about that as well. Let's see here. What do I got here? Features. Why do you think I'm weight challenged? Oh, I guess they're talking amongst each other, which is fine. Let's see here. Oh, wow. There's a lot going on here. Let's see here, guys. I'm reading as we're going. Wifey mentioned, I'm just glad you're not hurt. Yeah, that's the whole point of me doing this the right way, not to get hit. Ouch. Now that one looked rough. Yeah, man. Again, a lot of them look way rougher than they are. I'm doing this specifically because I want to learn. I want to get really good at it. Also, really to inspire other people to give it a shot. It's not as crazy as it is. It's not as dangerous as it is. As long as you're doing it in a controlled manner, in a controlled environment, in your own pace. Really, I'm not doing this with anyone. I was telling my wife, what was dope is that I'm actually glad I'm not learning wheelie. Because in the very beginning, I was saying to myself, damn, yo, it'd be really cool to have someone that wheelies right next, that's a pro, that's with me, and that can guide me. And I soon realized after doing this daily, it's a great thing I have no one with me. But in that same note, I'm using the camera as my second set of eyes that I watch later and make adjustments and be objective to myself. So that's how that works. Because here's what's happening. Remember earlier I mentioned learning how to wheelie is one thing, understanding a wheelie is another. If you start with someone that's already proficient, just like when you're learning how to ride a motorcycle and they tell you, hey man, go to the class, they'll teach you the proper way. It's the same thing. If you're learning how to wheelie from someone that's telling you, just press the throttle, man, and clutch it up in just same time, you know, they're forgetting that you don't know anything or you don't understand anything about it. They're experienced, they're already good at it, they're already proficient at it. They're just, not that they mean bad intention. Sometimes there's a little bit of unless it's a professional person that's teaching you and understand, you know, you have to crawl, you have to walk, and then you have to run. You know, most friends will be like, yo, just pop the clutch, man. I've heard this a lot from people. Just throttle and pop the clutch, man. It's going to come up. That's a terrible idea. And the fear that's going to happen in your heart is going to set you back further. Because I got so used to doing the drills and of it coming up. When I fell, I was not even afraid. You know, it was like, oh shit, it happened. Sooner or later it was going to happen, and happened. Because that fear factor had already passed already. You know, you're listening to someone tell, oh, hit the clutch and pop the throttle, it's going to come up. That's a terrible, terrible idea. Do not take it. Also, everyone wheelies different. Everyone has a different tactic. I've seen some people also where they're about to wheelie, you hear them, went, right? They're just like working your way through it, right? And you could power wheelie that way. It's like you're jolting You're jolting the torque into the wheel, right? If you're clutching, you just clutch, pop, woof, you go up, right? You'll do it. I also learned something super, super important. I'm a little bit all over the place. I'm just like spilling all of this out to you guys here, but they are all documented and they are like in sequence where I can kind of talk about them a little bit more organized, but this is kind of a raw. I'm learning, right? This is what got me super comfortable and got me into the zone. You know, when you discover something, it's like eureka. Oh my God, this is great. Position, perfect position, right? Pop the clutch. You hit the throttle, right? In most cases, people tell you, hit the throttle hard. It's going to go up right after you pop the clutch. Yes and no, right? Pop the clutch, it'll go up. Here's what I learned. Pop the clutch, be in position, hit the throttle, it'll go up. Don't close the throttle, right? You're going to lightly release it, okay? But it's still giving it juice. So when it pops, it'll stay in the position. If you don't close it, it'll continue going. I don't know if you guys seen some of my other wheelies where it's just going, it's smoother. So, you've heard somebody go, wah, and then, so that sound, it's the first wah, that's the up, and then the other is just coasting, and then the rear brake. Again, understanding you can do it. And it'll get rid of the fear. So, so here I am, I'm just like, going at it, and the second one, I mean, that crash, I didn't get hurt, nothing bad happened to me, but I did damage something on the bike. I'll show you guys in a second. Just keep going through the comments here. And that's the one he showed me first. Yeah, don't share this stuff with your significant other. She was super hurt about the crash. I'm like, yo, I'm alive. I'm right here. I'm next to you. You know what I mean? The bike, I rode the bike back home. I mean, anything like that's not a big deal. And yeah, just super emotional about it. I'm like, she's like, but you fell. I'm like, yeah, that's what happens. You know what I mean? It's part of the game. I accepted that fate in the beginning, and I'm okay with it. As long as I'm not hurt, I'm okay with it. The bike, all modular, all stuff that could replace, I don't mind. I have money set aside if we have to kind of adjust stuff or whatever. That's what it's for. If you're ready for what you're doing, you're fine. It's not a problem. Respect for showing this stuff. How would you explain a clutch up? Is it revving up and dumping the clutch? It is absolutely not revving and dumping the clutch. That's going to set you up for a terrible day. Completely bad, dude. So, again, I'm always turning to the side to kind of explain this because it's easier to kind of see my hand, right? So, actually, I'll do it here so you can see, right? So, let's say the bike is rolling between 5 to 10 miles an hour. You close the clutch, right? You're on the throttle, right? You pop it and then you jolt. So, it's like right after the snap, not instantly, not together. A lot of people say do it together or simultaneously. That's bullshit. Again, when you wheelie all the time, you're accustomed to it, you're very good at it, the brain just registers one motion. You just, right? You not release the clutch, you're gonna pop it. So, right? Flick. Right outside of the flick, right? You see that? Like that. It looks simultaneous, but if you slow down what I'm doing, it's not, right? Right? It looks simultaneous, it is not. To the naked eye, again, I've recorded some slow motion of this. This is kind of show people as an example on some of the videos. It looks simultaneous, but it's not. There's a delay of either a couple of seconds or a fraction of a second. You pop it first and then pop, right? So the gear's catching on instantly. The gear's catching, see? That's what's happening. If you do this, you crank the rev, you pop it, it's gonna loop instantly. You basically, the bike's gonna ride you instantly. There is no time for you to hit the rear brake. It's gonna happen so abruptly, so severe that you're gonna crash no matter what. No matter how proficient you are with the rear brake. And when you get used to it, guys, here's what's happened. I'm just gonna give you a quick tip, at least from what I'm learning also. Proper position, right? You pop the clutch. When you crack it fast with the clutch control, you sit back, right? It will never come up so it's gonna come up aggressively enough, but enough so you have time to react and hit the rear brake. So never, ever, ever do that, man. I'm telling you, that's gonna be bad news. And so often people say, "Oh man, just rev it and pop the clutch." No, don't do it. Don't do it. Here goes here, Covert Mecha. Yeah, to clutch up my 600, it's not a quick motion. I have to hold it in the clutch just a second longer to make sure it hit the right revs. So, yeah, so on a 600, the torque band is very high. Unless you're going almost 90 miles an hour and then pop it, it's not going to come up instantly or really, really high up. Let's say from first gear, if you have a really long rev range, you're talking about peaking the red line, you could pop. So it's a tough thing. I actually have a whole new appreciation for people with super bikes that wheelie them. It takes a lot of skill and understanding how it works and how the engine put power to the rear wheel and how they do it. Also, you see, it's like a cheat code when you see people with the giant rear sprocket. That's to change that torque curve, right? You're getting a lot more torque in the rear tire. So it's almost like a cheat code almost. But then again, your bike top end speed drops dramatically, but then your bike become a wheelie bike. So that's one of the cases. Again, a lot of understanding, guys. I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm one of those nerds that when I get into something, I love understanding it and really getting to the bottom of it and really appreciating. And I'm having a whole new appreciation for the people that does this and do it really well. So I'm going down that rabbit hole. This is why I can dissect it as much, which is really fun, at least for me as well. Chris Key here. What's up, Rue? How's everyone doing Sunday? Yeah, man, we're chilling. We're talking about wheelies, talking about me crashing. I've been playing some clips here of me dumping the bike and making some mistake and learning a lot and sharing some of that opinion. I'll roll some of them back again just to kind of show you guys those crashes as well. Let's see what else do we have. Solo Rider mentioned, I love the horse comparison with the Hyper. Yeah, that thing is a giant horse, dude. You know better than that, man. You own one of those things. Mike, what tire pressure are you using? They say tire pressure can help. So yes and no, the tire pressure thing can help. So if you're wheeling a bike that's running street tires, you could definitely lower the tire pressure for higher contact patch. I opt not to do that because for me, I got really used to popping the clutch without having to have more contact patch. The area I'm wheeling is really clean. It's a nice open parking lot, no issues there. Funny thing is, I thought people would complain to me. I've seen little old white ladies come, "Hey, you practicing? Oh my God, you go! That's so cool!" So that's been really kind of fun as well. So people have been pretty kind about it. Nobody complained or anything like that. What are you doing in the parking lot, kind of thing. So it's been kind of. And the funny thing is, since I'm going there every day for like an hour, they're already accustomed to seeing me. And what I usually do, people come up to me and start talking. I always introduce myself, tell them who I am and stuff, just to make them feel very comfortable. Not some crazy hooligans gonna cause havoc or whatever. Introduce myself, tell them, oh yeah, I'm just practicing and stuff like in a safe environment, and they love to kind of hear that stuff. And nothing ever, cops never showed up, nobody ever showed up to complain and stuff like that. So that's been kind of cool. Let's see here. So in other words, get the clutch up to the friction zone point. Yeah, right there. Exactly. Chris Key here. So it's all good, man. You got this. It looks to me a while. It took me a while to learn. Okay, there we go. Tussinol, I appreciate the info. Will the newfound love for wheelies will you change your riding style? Will you look into wheelie machines like a KTM MT-09? No. So here's what's going to happen for me for wheelies is going to be my Hyper Motard is going to become my wheelie bike. I potentially might grab a KTM Sumo, like a already made one or something like that. Who knows? But the Hyper is kind of like the wheelie bike anyway, so I kind of figure I have one, so it's kind of a given that I could kind of do that. Mr. Black Moses in the building too. Let's see what I got here. Black Moses in the building. What's up, sir? Let's see what he got here. Chris Key mentioned, I love the channel. Get my man to 100,000K. Hey man, we're trying, having a conversation, always an open platform where we can all talk and chat. And by the way, Carly, there's 17 people tuned in, guys. I would appreciate you hitting that thumbs up. Make it all match, make it all worth it. That's always a great thing. All right, so let me run back here, guys. I want to show you guys some of my good little wheelies here that that I did, which I liked a lot. Let's see here. Actually, I have a lot of really good wheelies, to be honest. This is not just the only one that that I have that's good. Let me see my channel. Oops. Oh, I didn't realize that was in the bottom there. Give me a sec. I'm just kind of pulling these up here. New crash wheelie. I don't want to show the crashes. Oh, so here's take a look at this one here, guys. I thought this was really dope too. Please go on page. There you go. See, if you guys are looking at that, if you're looking at that, you could clearly see that this is a, it's right after, hold on, I'm just gonna stop it. Let's see here. It's gonna play that one more time. If you listen, you could hear the pop and then throttle. Carefully enough. And I have a ton of really good ones, so.
Raise your hand if you have ever had sex with a prostitute without a condom.
Oh, wow, that's fucked up, dude.
Keep your hand raised if you've had sex with a prostitute without a condom over 1,000 times.
I love how YouTube kind of shows that right after. That's great. Let's see if I got a couple more here that we can kind of play. Keep your hand up if you've had sex with a prostitute with no condom. Better kiss that ass goodbye if you're doing that. All right, there we go. Back on here to videos. Let's see. Wow, I haven't uploaded another one of those wheelies. I have a bunch of them, dude. I have so many of them. Oh, this one has a crash and... Yeah, it has a crash and it has a I still want to know what that other But definitely, man, it's a really wild journey, man. I'm telling you guys, man, really, really cool. Learning this stuff. You know, the thing is, I guess because I'm doing it in a manner that it's nice and safe, and I feel confident that I'm having a good time, man. Just understanding the whole process, really. Let's see what I got here. Agreed. That's a good one. Yeah, man, I have a ton of really, really good wheelies. I'm actually riding one at least. I don't know what's a city block in your area in New York. Babe, how big is a city block? Oh, she has headphones on. She can't hear me. I'm wheeling like half a city block now, at least in my area. Once you clutch it up and you get it just to the right space, it's not too difficult. It's actually really, for me, the practice is getting it up just to the right space to continue. That's what I'm really practicing on, and making sure that's done. So I'm gonna show you guys one thing that's pretty good. Sidebar, I spoke with Jason. Oh, there you go here. I probably should read this up here, I guess. No, 1 second here. Mr. Black Moses, sidebar, I spoke with Jason last week while in California, working on getting him on the show. Yeah, man, he's just a busy body. So the door's always open, and it would be crazy having Jason Braid on here, man, for real. I mean, I have a lot of questions. So, by the way, I've done tons of research on Jason Bray, and I know people don't know how this goes when we're doing like the stream. My man had attempt to do a lot of really cool things. He was a kickboxer. Okay, he has a whole array of things of him getting in business with Kawasaki, being official sponsor of Kawasaki, a Japanese company, a black guy, and let's be real, nobody's in bed with Kawasaki. There's so many cool things. I have like tons of footnotes. So just to say, so you guys know, when we do the stream, it's not just me just blabbering. There's like a lot of pre-prep work that's done. So just a heads up, but very excited, man. It's gonna be really, really cool. It's gonna be a really dope conversation. I'm sure there's lots of gems I'm gonna bring up and stuff. Get him on the show. He's a beast. Yeah, man, it's definitely gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We're gonna get a lot of people on here, man. That's nice, Mike. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna show you guys one thing here that was super interesting about my last crash on the wheelie. And again, not hurt. Nobody panic. Nobody freaks out. Again, the bike is for crashing. That was the overall idea here. So take a look. I'm gonna see if I could slow this down. So here we go. You guys are gonna miss it, and I'm gonna point this out. There you go. Oh. Ooh, there we go. My wife missed it. Did you guys catch that on that wheelie? Did you catch why I crashed on this one? We had a stunt show at Del Amano Motorsport last week. Man, you guys have crazy stunt shows. I'm actually cutting the stunt show with Jason and the young lady that was with her, and the two guys that was on the Triumph. Actually, that footage is wild. Can't wait to actually put that out. That's definitely something that's gonna be cool. Let's see here. What do you got here? Half of New York City block is approximately 246 feet. Yeah. So I'm actually rocking at least that far at the moment. So that's not bad at all, guys, for a noob. Not bad at all. Comfortably, I'm doing that. By the way, did anybody catch what I did wrong in that last wheelie, why I crashed it? I'm gonna, most people are gonna miss it again, because I scrutinize every single one of those clips. The good wheelies, the bad ones, the potential ones, the one that I slightly tweaked, disturbed the chassis. That's why I went left, and I disturb it with my knees hitting the chassis, and it goes right or something like that. I pick apart all of my videos crazy. So let's take a look. I'm going to explain to you guys what I did here. The reason why I did that last crash, which kind of sucked because it caused pretty bad damage on the KLX, and I'll kind of talk about that also. Just going to kind of run this back a little bit. So I don't know if I'll be able to stop it. So right there, right? You see that here right before my feet comes off right before my foot comes off, I was attempting to hit the rear brake. If you guys watch this really close, you'll see that my foot slid off. My rear brake foot slid off slightly down when the bike went off, and I thought I hit the rear brake. It looked like it happened so fast, but I studied this over and over, and I saw it. I'm like, oh shit. I only dropped the bike here because you can see it. Look at my foot. See that? Right before I fell, you could see my feet sliding off the rear brake. And then when I tried to hit it, it wasn't on the rear brake. Because if you notice also, right before I clutch up, another really good thing. Right before clutching up, do a brake check. That way your foot's in position, and you know it's there and stays there, right? It's just hovering. Once you clutch up, you just slightly tap, it'll bring it down, right? You could look for me right there when I clutch it up. You'll see there's a part where my boot slid back. Slide. You see that? You see that? Right there, right before. I'll say it. That way, just so you guys can see the timing. Watch. Whoop, slide right there. See that? Right? See, I'm already in the gut. Oh, I'm so mad at myself, man. I thought, you know what it is? When it first happened, I'm like, oh, I screwed up. I didn't hit the rear brake, so I dropped it, right? I accepted that. When I watch it and really analyze it and watch it over, and I looked at it, and you could see my foot slid down slightly, and I was right below the rear brake, and you could see I hit it, but my foot hit the air. There was no brake. My foot slid down. God damn it. That really pissed me off, man. That freaking really get me right now. Actually, watching it over, I'm really actually a little irritated. Right there. There you go. And you know what's crazy, man? When the first time I dropped the bike, I said to myself, I chuck it to the loss. I said, you know what, man? I didn't do my drill it before practicing. Maybe, you know, the brain didn't, you know, click, like hit the rear brake, right? Right after that one, I'm like, yo, dust it off. Let's keep it going. Keep on practicing, right? And I did a couple of clean wheelies. I'm talking about straight across. So picture GoPro Super View. I could really across the whole Super View straight, no problem. And balance. Not chasing it, balance, right? And I'm like, all right. I watched the footage. I'm like, oh, man, you know, I panicked. This one, I didn't attempt to hit the rear brake. I panicked, and I put my foot down. And, of course, I fell. Chucked the loss. I'm like, all right, fine. That was on me. That's on me. This one pissed me off because I did try to hit the rear brake. My foot slid before. Because if you hit the rear brake too early, it's just going to bring it down really quickly. Once you know, clutch pop, right? It goes up. Once you start getting to the weightless, that's when you tap the rear brake. And my foot was a little bit lower. I tap. It's just the air. The brake pedal's up here, my foot's down here, right? So I'm like, whoop, whoop. So I freak out. I'm like, wait a minute, it's not coming back down. So I freak out. One more time. You gotta be kidding me, man. You gotta be kidding me right there. That was wild, man. Well, you know what? It is what it is. It does happen. All right, let's take a look at some of the damages, guy. I want to show you guys. The damage to the bike, and to be honest, the bike has been incredible. No issues there, man. I've been beating this bike up a lot. Oh, you got to be kidding me! Freaking all right. You know what? I'll do it this way. I was just gonna open it right into OBS, but for some reason, when you take photos with your iPhone, the format it opens it in, it's the HEIC. It's like a high definition. It's all good. Here's what we'll do. Let's open up that tab here, and then by the way, guys, if you have any questions you wanna drop or any feedback from me for that crash, always appreciate it, man. I don't have any problems at all. I'm completely transparent when it comes to this, and really making this a big learning experience for myself. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and I am determined it's gonna happen. I'm gonna continue doing it. I'm gonna continue practicing every day for an hour, you know, until I get this and make this something that's completely for me. So let's take a look at the damage on the bike. There we go. So when I landed on the right side, well, the bike flipped off and landed to the right hand side of the motorcycle. The right foot peg here is damaged. Usually that's not a big deal at all. You could get different foot pegs for it, and this is one of the pros and cons when we're talking about the KLX brand. At least this is my experience with it. I'm very accustomed to having bikes that are a little bit more pricey. Everything is modular. You can replace it if you were to dump it or crash it or anything like that. But when you look here at the Kawasaki KLX 140 RL, right here, let me see, make this pretty big here. Let's get our little marker over here. We're gonna get all real technical tonight, boys. Let's see what we got. Where are you? Yeah, why not? Ah, damn it. Where are you? Oh my God, I am not doing this tonight. Okay, fine. No biggie. So if you look at the KLX right here, right, you can see right there, this is bent. Just gonna keep going down. You'll see I have different angles here. Oh, come on. You kidding me? Okay, I'm not gonna make this full screen. We're just gonna have to look at it this way, boys. Okay. By the way, this is the back of my Street Fighter you guys are looking at. All right, I'll just open them separately. So this is not damage from me dropping the bike. Look, engine casing, everything looks good. This is my boots rubbing. That's all that is. Again, not a big deal. It's part of the deal. That's my humidifier in the garage. Keep moisture down on the bikes. Here's another angle here of this as well. So this is kind of a problem because I can't practice anymore. Not only the foot peg is broken, the foot peg mount bent, and that's welded to the bike, to the frame, and kind of pissed me off a little bit. It upsets me because because I can't go back and continue practicing, and granted it's raining a lot, so I can't. So I don't know if you guys could see this here. The foot peg is bent, but then the mount, hold on, you can see it. Yeah, the mount. Oh, was this on me the entire time? Oops, sorry, I wasn't monitoring it. I'm sorry, guys. I'll just move all the clips around here so you can see. This is the, like a side view, top view. There's no damage on the engine casing at all. This that you're seeing here, that wasn't scraped on the floor. That's just from my boots, really. The boots have a lot of little padding and light grit on it, and it scuffed the side. That's just normal wear and tear for me when I'm using the bike, not a problem. And if you look closely, you'll see the peg bent forward. Usually it folds up, all right? That's not a problem. That's easy to replace and buy another one. They're not expensive, maybe like $40, $50 or whatever. But if you look here, the peg mount bent, and anyone that rides a motorcycle or work on any kind of vehicle, whenever there's metal that's bent, if you bend it back, it reduces the rigidity. Eventually it's gonna break, right? So that creates another layer to the problem. I haven't been stressing about it at all, but just kind of annoying. To be honest, it's not the bike. I just really want to go back out and continue learning, or at least continue doing what I've learned and what I've figured out, because that alone, the excitement, I was like, oh, I figured this out. Now I can't continuously practice it because of this thing. And if we look right here, let me show you on this clip, on this photo here. This is the damage. See, there is two little loops here, right? One of them broke. The other one is still holding the peg. I could bend that back, but it's gonna reduce the rigidness of that metal. Eventually that's gonna break. It's gonna fray and then break, right? The other loop right here, that's snapped off. That's broken. So there's no saving for that. Now, getting a peg is super easy. They're like $60, not a big deal. The problem is here, guys. That is the problem that I have. All right. See that? The peg mount is welded onto the frame. Now, that's definitely a cheap thing. You know what I mean? When you're buying a bike that's like $4,000, $4,500, I mean, what do you expect? Not everything's gonna be modular. So if any of you guys are part of the chat or you know anyone that has dealt with something like this, looking for solution, there is no aftermarket yet for this to kind of fix this. I'm considering getting a grinder, grinding it down, and looking for another bracket, and then find a welder and then have them welded back on, because that's the main issue here. That's the one thing that bothers me about the whole thing. Nothing else, not the falling part, not any of the stuff. It's just the fact that this broke and now I'm stuck waiting to get back to practicing. It totally sucks, and it's like, ugh. So, see, I think I might have another view of this here. Let me see here. Yeah, you can see a little bit further away here. So, any idea, guys? Yeah, so top view. And the funny thing is, I could still put my foot on it; it'll hold it. But you know, I just want it to be in a position where I don't have to worry about it or anything like that to practice. But yeah, so that's the downside to what happened. Is the fact that I don't have access to the bike at the moment to continue my progression. And I felt like I was at a point where I'm getting close to like super comfortable and just really practicing repetition really at this point. And that ended up happening. So that's a pretty heart-wrenching thing. So if anybody knows anything regarding like welding, something like this happened to you before, I've scoured the internet. I haven't seen much on people. There's other KLX models that have aftermarket replacement peg mounts that mounts to the bottom, and they're billet aluminum. So it seems like it's a common issue that's happened with people. It's not something that just happened to me, because I've seen it on other motorcycles that have replacement that's billet aluminum that's a lot more rigid, that can take a little bit more of a pounding. So, which I expect to dump it again. So definitely needs to be something that's going to be a lot stronger. What is the second rev being? Was it that second rev being too abrupt? No. It was not that at all. I missed the brake, man, on my second crash. My foot slid down. As you can watch it, if you slow it down a little bit or pause it, you'll see where my foot slid down, and I try to hit the rear brake, and I'm hitting the air. So when I did that, nothing happened. I panicked. Let me see. I can still hear it. Damn it. That's all good. Don't worry about that. Man, hit the air brake. It's all good. Yeah, man, I hit that air brake, man. That just freaked me out, man. That was not cool, man. Practice makes perfect, man. Hells yeah, man. I'm in it to win it, and I'm not walking away from this. I'm gonna beat this, man. All good, man. Having a really good time, by the way, and a safe time, man. What's up, guys? What's good? Chachon Jeremy. Guys, I know other people usually come in a little bit later on the chat. Please, if you're tuning in a little bit after, make sure you hit the thumbs up, guys. Always appreciate you guys doing that. It helps a lot. Let's see here. Covert Maker. Time to pull out the torch and vice grips. Yeah, man. So I'm thinking of getting a grinder and grinding it down, but I still need a replacement. So I'm gonna call the Kawasaki dealer to see if there's anything. The guys at Motivation already hit me up, because I did send them some reference photos and stuff like that. And it seems like they could probably plug me in for some parts or something like that. So we'll see how that develops. If there is a replacement, let me just kind of show you guys what a replacement would look like. And I've seen a lot of people are pulling up same issues that I've had and grinding it down and fabricating another one. And it's not that it could be done. I'm just more excited to get to the practicing part and just continue the progression, that I feel like it's stalling time. So this week I'm probably going to take like a couple of days off to kind of trying to get us a resolution, you know, to getting that done ASAP. I want to get back out there and just keep pushing, especially before it starts getting colder out here in New York. So maybe Anna was a welder in a past life. Oh my God. Unfortunately, the only heat I know is fire on the stove. I would tell him, just get another KLX. Yeah, that sounds like my wife. She would probably be like, listen, just get another one. She's like that, man. You guys think I'd be joking sometime about her? She's like that. The only time you'd probably see her not say something like that if she knows something like I can't do, but if she knows there's something I could do, she like just go buy another one. So, but that's not gonna happen. So we're not gonna do that. We hit some of the logic over here, but she's straight crazy. Let's see here. Futuristic Viper mentioned Mike might be listening to Michael Jackson "Just Beat It" while he beats up that KLX. Yeah, man, I'm putting it through its paces. And to be honest, man, shout out to Kawasaki. That they made a good bike. I mean, granted, making this thing modular like that piece, in order for you to buy a bike at $4,500, you could see they're gonna have to do some kind of shortcuts. And again, one of my focus for this bike was the fact that it had rear disc brake. All the other bikes in that category all had drum brakes, and I can't afford to be practicing clutch up wheelies with a drum brake that might suck. So I made that the priority, and to be honest, I overlooked the pegs because I always thought to myself, the peg's gonna break. The pegs is gonna break, never the peg mount. So it's one of those things. Again, I did a list video of stuff that I like, stuff that I hate, and that peg thing was like a big deal. It was like, fuck, you know, it should have been modular. So here's what some of the solution that people are doing. Let me kind of show you guys that. For a specific situation like this, let's see here. KLX 140 RL peg bracket replacement. So there you go. Let's take a quick look, boys. We want a good old how do you call it, googly bear here. Take a quick look. So these are some of the options we'd be looking at here, guys, to kind of get that replaced. I mean, you're gonna see a lot of pegs, but this is, see, this is mounted. This is BBR. This is one of the aftermarket that Motivation hit me up on. This is mounted below, and then it substitute both pegs, but this is a rigid piece. So we're talking about if you were to dump it, it's not gonna break, unlike the cheap metal that's welded for that. Here's another one. There's a lot of options, but nothing to the KLX 140. Again, mine is a 2022 this year. I bought it brand new. So Sunday and Mondays, no dealerships open. So I'm probably gonna partner with Motivation on Tuesday to see what we could do to kind of see if I could get something like this. If that's not an option that's on the table, I'm probably gonna grind that down and then look for a fabricator to fabricate a replacement and then weld that back on. That's perfectly fine. I expected for the pegs to break anyway. I wanted to do blue handlebars or black handlebars with blue grips and just stylize the bike a little bit. It's a fun bike. You know, doing colors. I got some number plates and stuff like that. I'm really just having a fun time with it. Not worrying too much about scratches and small stuff that's minuscule in the grand scheme of me learning how to be proficient in doing wheelies. So, you know, we're looking at stuff like this. Hopefully I can find a solution sometime this week and really to get back out there, because, you know, for me, the goal is to really continue practice as much as I can, as quickly as I can. That way, when it's a little bit colder, we also have stuff like this, guys. Let me show you. Mounts like this that mounts on the side brackets, but this is not applicable to my KLX, but oh, wrong window. There you go. Yeah, hopefully I can figure something. This is another one I saw that was very interesting too. Fast minis. This is another place they recommend. You can see this whole piece mounts with the foot peg. Let me see if I could blow this up here. But this mounts below both foot pegs. To be honest, I would probably want to mount something like that where it's rigid right across. Next time I dump the bike, that's going to withstand pretty much any of the brute force and actually substitute as like a slider almost. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm not stressing about it. I'm not worried about it. It's not a big deal, but I definitely want to be out there practicing again. That's the big deal to me. I want to be out there. I want to be going hard. I want to keep practicing. That's what's bothering me, not the whole thing. Yeah, so it is what it is, man. You know, that's the name of the game. You get into it, you understand the risks, the sacrifices, and I'm okay with it. I just want to be able to resolve the situation quickly so I can start practicing again. I'd really, you know, I didn't have any goal. My goal was to become really proficient next year, but based on the pacing, where I'm going, how fast I'm getting it and understanding it, I could see me becoming really good before year's end, and just continue practicing, really. So, and it's a learning thing. It's not something I'm going to practice and get good at, and then I'm just good at it. It's one of those things you will continue practice all the time. It's like doing drills, so it is what it is. Let's see what we got here. Futures, Mike might be listening to Michael Jackson. Okay, yeah, I did read this a little bit earlier. I didn't see that, sorry. Yeah, you're right. It's all about fun and learning. Yeah, man, I'm having a lot of, telling you, I'm having, so the other day, before the whole crash thing happened, and my wife mentioned to me, hey man, you want to go ride or whatever? Because we had a day together, went to a farm and stuff like that, and kind of hung out and just chill, just do like regular stuff. And she was like, don't you want to go riding or whatever? And I was like, yeah, I want to go ride. And she goes, your real bike. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what the fuck? She was like, I mean the real bike, not the little bike. I'm like, no, I actually want to go ride the KLX because it's fun. It's exciting. It's something new and stuff. And I'm not like stagnant. I'm learning something new. She was like, you want to ride the KLX, not the Street Fighter, not the Hyper or the Monster? I'm like, yeah, just that. Also, it's kind of cool that I'm close to home when I'm doing that. I could go home pretty quickly if I wanted to. Here you go. I'm trying to teach my son to wheelie. He's 8, but he's catching on fast. Oh, here's a really good thing I want to talk about here also. If you have to do any welding, weld something that's going to allow you to have modular parts connected. Yeah, so it's not going to be a weld to actually keep my feet up. I want to weld the actual bracket, and then I'm going to put pegs on there. I'm planning to put beefier pegs. Actually, I don't even want the pegs to fold, because when the pegs, if I dump the bike, I want the pegs to double as a slider. Almost, not a slider per se, but almost like a impact protection. Like it just hit right on the pegs and just sits on there. Screw it. It is what it is. You know, we'll buy multiple pegs if need be or whatever. Let's see here. What else here? So here's the other thing. Another advice. I know I mentioned to you guys, advice is free on the internet. Everybody gives you advice, especially when it comes to like wheeling and doing whatever you want to do. One of the people that I spoke to, was like, hey man, get on the bike, put one foot down, clutch it up, and then just start dragging your feet to wheelie just to get comfortable. Oh my God. Let me tell you guys, I made an attempt with this practice, and this is why I was very clear, like, it's good that I'm not practicing with people that's familiar or knows how to wheelie really well. Because what they're accustomed to is okay for them, or what they're used to is okay for them, or they might be teaching you something that you're not. Dude, I wheelied with one foot down on the floor. Oh my God, I nearly killed myself. I swear to God. The bike went completely out of control. My foot got caught onto the ground. I'm wearing the boots. The boots are very grippy to the floor. I almost smashed my face into the handlebar, and the bike lost complete control. It was a nightmare, man. I will never wheelie a motorcycle with my foot down. I rather risk falling, looping. I rather risk falling the way that you saw in the video before I do that. Because I feel like, let me rephrase that. I'm in more control when I'm controlling my clutch up and I have my proper body position, instead of me trying to cheat my way into clutching up with my foot down as a backup. No siree. I would not. You can't pay me to do that. I will not do it again, because that was super dangerous for me, and I experienced it twice, and I was like, wow, I am not doing that. And you would see tons of people online telling you, give that a shot. It makes it very easy. The best way to get really accustomed to wheeling and get rid of the fear, number one, don't use your main motorcycle, because most people are very afraid of damaging their real bike. I am as well, okay? Second is to moderation, right? When I first started clutching up, I was like, oh my God, the bike's gonna flip over, right? And I review the footage. Dude, the bike came off like 2 inches, right? The minute you pop it up, right, and you see it, it looks like the end of the world's happening, right? So you start clutching up, Don't look at the handlebar, because that strikes fear into your heart and then you react. Bad idea. Watch the horizon, clutch up, right? Go up, bring it down. Clutch up, go up, bring it down. Do it 100 times, 200 times, doesn't matter. Dude, I've done this hundreds of times in the time I've been practicing. So what happened is, as you go up 5 inches, 6 inches, 10 inches, a foot, it's almost like when you ride a roller coaster, right? You get to the very top, sinking feeling happens, you freaking out, and you keep riding the roller coaster, you get used to it, you don't have that feeling anymore. You know what I mean? You know the roller coaster is going to dip down really fast, the inertia, you're not going to have the sinking feeling. So as you keep doing it, you keep going further back, you keep going further back. For me, I went a little bit way far back and missed the brake, which screwed me up. But you start losing the feeling of the fear, and you can go further back. That's how you do it. That's the trick, and that's what's been working for me. And I've gotten to the point where the bike is, I'm pretty much at 10:30. All right, 10:30 on the clock. I'm pretty high up, and I'm completely comfortable. I don't feel like, oh my God, the world's ending. So, you know, one of those, if you keep doing that, you're going to get rid of the feeling and you'll be able to do it. And the way you do that is by having full control of the rear brake. Again, my first drills, before anything, you know, I just kept on playing with that rear brake. The other thing I used to do when I ride a super bike, a Street Fighter, a super bike, hyper motard monster, my rear brake, this is my rear brake. This is my foot, right? I'm like this because the angle is a little bit different. I'm tapping with my toes, okay? Lightly. Super bikes are a little different. I found out on a dirt bike, you want to have your foot, you know where the ball of your feet is? That should be on the brake. You want to have very positive clicks on a wheelie, okay? Because your toe is not going to do it. It's going to really set you up for a bad day. So have positive click on the ball of your feet. So, you know, brake, ball of your feet, touch it. You're going to feel it. It's going to give you a positive click. When you clutch up, it's easy. So that's been my journey so far. That's the most information I've gotten. And I feel super confident. So much so, I went to Cycle Gear. And the guys was like, oh, yo, you might have blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I started doing my wheelie process and just learning. They had a Honda Monkey there. I wheelied that comfortably. So, you know, that was the second bike. Well, outside of my Monster and the KLX, that Honda Monkey, the thing is that bike was heavy also. It's kind of weird. I wouldn't want to learn how to wheelie on a Honda Monkey. It was heavy, but same process. I was able to wheelie that bike as well. Let me go there. Let me get rigid. Let me see here. Okay. Ouch. That needs a little torch action to pull back the bracket and new foot peg. Yeah, so I could definitely torch it and push it back. The problem I have is, will that weaken the metal? Also, the second loop is damaged. The second loop is broken. So I don't know. I guess I should just get a personal opinion, right? Just get like go to a welder. Don't break it off. Don't grind it off. And see if they could heat it up and bend it back. And then that loop, and it doesn't have to be perfect. The bike is not meant to be perfect to me. It is what it is. No, never mind. Arrived late, was getting a movie finish and Halloween kicking off. Yeah, no problem. About you, Chris. Let me see here. That foot down sounds like you do on a dirt bike that turns around quickly. You wheelie, lean to the side of boarding, the front down in the opposite direction. Yeah, I don't like that 1 foot down business, man. That 1 foot down business is a joke for me. That really, dude, I nearly shit myself, man. I did that, man. I'm like, wow, well, this is crazy. The bike went out of control. My foot was anchoring the bike on the floor. And of course, it's on asphalt. Maybe this is a tactic for on grass. My foot basically made the bike pivot to the other. It was not a good experience, man. Same here, man. I'm just chilling, getting ready for another week at work. AMC has great movies this month for Halloween. Don't tell my wife that because she loves AMC and watch a lot of movies. So yeah, man, I mean, if you guys have any ideas for that peg situation, or if you know anyone that's dealt with that, basically, I'm just doing a lot of research and partnering with people, see anyone that can give me advice. I just want to be able to fix it fast so I can continue practicing and really evolving as quickly as possible. Yeah, as for the bike runs fast, starts up, no problem, no issues. That thing is a freaking a beater for sure, man. It can take a beating without, a hiccup. So, shout out to Kawasaki for that one, for sure. I gotta respect that, because not a lot of bikes you could do something like this with that's gonna continue ticking, man. I'm thinking of talking Mike into binge watching the Conjuring series, including Annabelle and Zombie Night Till Halloween. That'd be a fun idea. That'd be a fun idea. I'm always game, especially if we do that on when it's raining or something like that, where it's raining out or it's gloomy. We could kind of sit, order food in, and then just veg out and watch TV. That's always great. But yeah, guys, it's been awesome, man. I really appreciate you guys tuning in, chopping it up with me tonight, man. I know must have been crazy. I posted the stream a little bit late this time. I didn't even get to do the thumbnail yet, which I will do after. But I just thought I'd spend the time and share what I've learned, and always be very candid about what the process and what happened, some of the good things, some of the bad things. And again, if you see that I'm tuned in and I'm talking about it, I'm not hurt. That's all that matters. That means I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm having a lot of fun, and that's what matters. So, and do I encourage anybody else to give this a shot? If this is something that you thought about just a little bit, and you've seen your friends wheelie and you're like, damn, I want to wheelie. The sooner you do it, the sooner you want to get into it, the better. Because I'm one of those people, I would hate to get to a point in my life and say, oh man, I love bikes. I did buy my dream bike. I rode this bike. I did this, yada, yada. But I never got to wheelie, man. I would feel really stupid. And if I have an opportunity in front of me, if I practice this and I never get really good at it, and I never get really good, super good at it, or I don't know how to do it at all, I could say I tried it. I could say I made an attempt, and I learned, I understood, and maybe it'll sink in later. But I will never be able to live with myself saying, damn, I never tried this, I never learned this, but I've always wanted this. You ever spoken to someone that says, oh man, I wish I had done this when I was young. I wish I was, I don't want to be one of those people. I want to say, man, hey man, I wanted to go skydiving, I did it. I wanted to do this, I did it. I wanted to learn this, I did it. I didn't do it well, but I did learn it. I understand it. I'm not perfect at it, but I learned it. So that's my thing. You know what I mean? I don't, I just live by those rules. Something that you want to, you're passionate about, get to it and get it done. It's worked for me all my life. Same thing. Like I said to people before, both my wife didn't come from money or anything like that. We worked really hard and got yourself to a point where we could be very comfortable and do what we want. It's not because I was comfortable. I could have been one of those people that's comfortable with where I am. I just refuse to accept my bullshit. I want more. I want better for myself, for my family. So I push the same method to everything else. So that's my thing. By the way, for people that are wondering, this is my Darth Vader cup. Oh, it was probably out of focus. Let me see. I can show it to you. Yeah, defend. But yeah, totally my thing, man. I know. By the way, I'm having tea. Usually if you see I'm drinking while we're doing the stream, I'm having tea. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, you want to kind of chat up real quick, and then we'll kind of wrap up, that'd be great. If not, I'll definitely let you guys go. I know it's always a Sunday. Mike, agree with letting welders look first. Doesn't seem hard to replicate them. Grind off, weld on, and put a new foot peg. Yeah, I think that's what most people are thinking as well too, man. I mean, I like to do a little bit of research. I'm going to reach out to the dealer, see what the dealer says. I'm going to reach out to, I did speak to two other companies. I did shoot some of the guys at RevZilla some photos and an email. See, they passing it around in the office, and then see best solution or best option to explore. So I'm gathering all that information from the dealer, from the guys at RevZilla. There was two other places, and then now the motivation guys, and see the synopsis. So if everyone's going towards, hey man, you need to get that welded, you need to grind that off and weld it, pretty much everyone can't be wrong. If most are saying, hey man, there's a solution where you can get a bracket for it, here's what I recommend. It's not here in this country, you can get it, blah, blah, blah. We can do that. If they're saying, hey man, heat it and bend it back, and that one loop that's not perfect, that's fine. You know, we'll keep rocking with that until it completely falls off. I'm fine with that too. But with my experience with life and motorcycles, you don't just react. Do your research, talk with people, see their experience, because I'm not the only one that's experienced this, and then combine everything. And then you can come to a solid solution that's going to cost less damage, it's going to cost you less money a lot quicker. So that's where I'm at. So this week's going to be one of those weeks where I'm doing a lot of research and talking to a lot of people and emailing everyone photos and like, hey man, what do you think? What would you suggest? Yeah, that's where I'm at. Initially, when that happened the following day, I was like, man, I should go get a grinder and grind this off now and start the process. And I had to look outside myself for a second. I'm like, step back, dude. Just relax. It's the weekend. Most motorcycle shops are closed. Start doing some research. And I almost had a moment of excitement of like, let's get it going now. And that would have been a bad move. So, you know, even just talking to you guys now, hearing you guys saying, yo, heat it up with a blowtorch and then kind of bend it back. Because again, metal, if you heat it up, the molecules will stay fit as you bend it back, and then it'll stay. So if I were to bend it back with just a plier, that's just going to destroy it. So great idea there as well. So, you know, it's always nice hearing other people or hearing other clever solution that's going to help. So that's really dope. And that's why I like sharing stuff with you guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. Christine, the cup is sick. Yeah, man. Let's see here. Steve Turner, have you ever watched any of the Merkins videos on YouTube? Some of their parodies are pretty good. Huh. Gotta look that up. Let me see. It's sick. Skydiving is sick. I did it in Orange County in VA. Yeah, man. Actually, my wife wanted to do that before me, but after she got sick, I don't know if she's applicable to actually do that anymore. I had to skydive the skies of Florida last month. You will love it. Oh my God. Oh, a lot of people have done skydiving. That's funny. Definitely still on our list to do. Oh yeah, see, A is still down for it, dude. See, I don't mind skydiving and stuff like that. For me, is I think when my wife wants to go like cage diving with sharks, I'm like, hey, listen, I'll jump out of a plane, but you know, messing with sharks is a different story. That's like out of my skill set. You know what I mean? The movies screwed it up for Mike. Yeah, what shark diving? Pretty much, yeah. We're not messing with shark diving. Yeah. Anyway, guys, it's been a really dope stream. Hopefully, me chatting up about crashing and learning about wheelies, because right now I'm in this nerd mode, just geeking out over wheelies and just reading a lot of articles and understanding it and looking at it from a very broad perspective. Not really just watching all of the people. The only reference that I use for wheelies with other people is seeing people that knows how to wheelie really well in comparison to what I'm doing. So that's how I quickly noticed my body position was bad. I quickly noticed my foot was upsetting the chassis, or I needed to put the ball of my joint into the rear brake. So, you know, you could do comparisons, you know what I mean? That's where a lot of that stuff happened really quickly. By the way, another good thing that's happened from it, locally in my neighborhood, a lot of kids between like 16 to 22 are all coming out. I guess they hear the bike and then they see me practicing. I think at first, you know, of course, you know, it's a bunch of white kids and I'm a black guy, so they probably avoid me in the beginning. And as I go more and more, as you know, slowly you start coming. Some kid came with a Vespa, and other kids would come around. That oh, I thought my wife said something. And other kids was like, oh, I just put a Vespa together, like, you know, it's like an old beat up from like his uncle that gave him. Some other kids come with like pedal bikes and stuff and talk to me. Some of them, a lot of them subscribe to the channel, and like, oh man, when I get a dirt bike, I want you to come hang out. So they start messaging me through Instagram now. So that's kind of cool. So, you know, it's definitely building friendships and meeting people. Also, there's just so much positivity is coming out of just the process alone. So it's kind of cool. So yeah, that's that, man. That's where I'm at, and that's the overall idea. If you guys are tuned in watching this later, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Leave a comment if you do watch the whole thing through. You have any idea or any concept. Again, the bike is a 2022 KLX 140RL. That's the exact model. If anything that you stumble upon or any ideas, anything that can help me get this back up and running quickly so I can continue practice, please don't hesitate. Message me. I might have been overlooking something stupidly, so don't. Just tell me. I want to know. I want to be back out there and continue the journey. All right. Guys, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I know usually I have someone that we're talking to and having a fun conversation, but I kind of figured this would be more than interesting enough for us to kind of hang out. I do have a young lady that's going to be on the stream. I think in the next following week, she should be very interesting. She was recommended by another person that was on the stream, so that should be pretty fun. She has a BMW S1000R and also a Triumph, so she should be a really fun guest to chat with. So, yeah, I'm going to Bermuda in a couple of days, and I'm going to the cage. Oh my God! Good luck, sir. Life with Annaby, you don't need a cage. The sharks are roaming the neighborhood of Florida right now. What's up with Florida, man? Sharks, gators, and all. I'll tell you guys, man. I'm staying right here in New York. I am done. I am good. I am so good right now. There we go. Oh, you know what? I'm going to show you guys something really, really cool, by the way. It has nothing to do with motorcycles, but hold on. I'm going to show you this here. I don't want to swim with sharks. I just want an up-close look in a cage. What the fuck, man? That's just weirdo shit. Let's see here. Just do it. There's no reading on wheelies. When I learned how to wheelie, I didn't have a YouTube or internet. Just had to figure it out. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I don't want to get hurt, so I have to figure it out. I have to figure it out the smart way before I just do it like it's Nike. Same here, man. I'm an 80s baby. I was a good show. It was a good show. Thanks. Yes, man. Yeah, man. I appreciate it, guys. By the way, if you're not tuning in, definitely hit that thumbs up. I just want to show you guys something really cool just before I shut off the stream. So I've been building my whole stream rig here at my home office. I also set up my switch now. That could stream directly into my stream. Like my game is one of the windows split, so that's kind of cool. I don't have to kind of pull it up, but yeah. By the way, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight, man. I'm gonna go and spend some time with wifey and chill. If you guys think of anything about that peg bracket that's damaged, drop it in the comment section. KLX 140RL. Would love to kind of find a solution as quickly as possible. Appreciate you all for tuning in. Shout out to Sasong, Chris Nee, Chachong Jeremy, Life with Anna B, Mr. Black Moses, Futuristic Viper. All of you guys, man. Covert Mecca. Who else we got, guys? Definitely check all these people out. Sub to them if they continuously come through here on Sundays and show love and support. Tool Twansy, a Ducati fan, Florida. Just a bunch of people, guys. You know, it might not be 1,000 of you guys here, but it's enough and it's cool enough for me. Governor D Nice, all of you guys, really appreciate you coming through. I could say this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much to all of you guys for always coming through, showing love. I appreciate it. All right, have a good night. Peace.